Use the 5mm Allen key to remove the spring side lower screw. After removing the screw, assemble it 2 to 3 turns again. Use a plastic hammer to hit the head of the screw, to detach the compression rod from the lower press fit. Afterwards, remove the screw. Use a Phillips 1.0 screwdriver to remove the rebound adjuster knob. Then use a 10mm flat ground socket to remove the foot nut. Reassemble the nut 2 to 3 turns. And use a plastic hammer to detach the rebound rod from the lower press fit. Remove the nut. This way, the lower can be removed, then the bottom-out bumper and spacer can be removed from the compression rod. Use a 20mm flat ground socket to remove the coil guide before disassembling the coil spring and compression rod. Use angled circlip pliers to disassemble the compression end cap from the stanchion. Use a clean, lint-free rag to clean the inside of the spring side stanchion. Then use an auto trim removal tool to remove the compression knob. And take out the small steel balls and springs. Use a 28mm flat ground socket to remove the OCR2 Plus damper cartridge. After all parts have been thoroughly inspected and cleaned, the fork can be reassembled. Apply a liberal amount of grease to the rebound rod of the damper cartridge. Apply Loctite 243 thread locker to the threads of the cartridge. Use a 28mm flat ground socket to tighten the cartridge with a torque of 10 to 13 Newton-meters. Add grease to the top-out bumper of the compression rod unit. And use the angled circlip pliers to fix the assembly with a torque of 7 to 9 Newton-meters inside the spring side stanchion. Then add genuine suspension fork grease to the coil spring before assembling it in the stanchion. Apply Loctite 243 thread locker on the coil guide. And use a 20mm flat ground socket to reinstall and tighten it with a torque of 10 to 13 Newton-meters. Finally, install bottom-out bumper and spacer on the compression rod. Apply grease on the contact surface between the bumper and spacer so the parts stay put. Apply genuine suspension fork grease to the upper and lower bushing positions in the lower leg assembly. Add lubrication oil to the foam rings. Assemble the lower. Use a 10mm flat ground socket to tighten the foot nut with a torque of 5 to 7 Newton-meters. Use the Phillips 1.0 screwdriver to reassemble the rebound adjuster knob. Then apply Loctite 243 thread locker on the spring side lower screw, and use a 5mm Allen key to tighten the lower screw, torque 5 to 7 Newton-meters. Install the small steel balls and springs. And install the compression knob, pushing it down until it is properly engaged with the fixing O-ring inside the compression unit of the cartridge. Test whether the function and adjustment range of compression and rebound is fully given and if the fork is performing smoothly once the compression is dialed out entirely.